Hey, good morning, everybody. Clint Remington, operations trainee with Southwest Team 2. I'll go around the fire and give you guys an update, what occurred yesterday, and the plan going forward for today. So, a very busy day overall in the fire yesterday. A lot of moving parts, activity on different parts of the fire, so a lot of shifting resources. Again, most of the fire was fairly smoked out, so we didn't get to use much for aircraft to support the guys on the ground. But they are talking weather changes today, and you'll see that on the weather update. So I'll start out today, Wilsonia, Grant Grove. So we did place 2 strike teams for structure protection in there today. So they're up there putting plans together, and usually those structure protection plans, they go through, they evaluate the properties, they'll move things around, do what they can to make them more defendable. So those folks will be in there today with overhead, and their primary mission will be to sort through the community, figure out hydrant locations, where they can set up portable pumps, hose lays, sprinklers, things like that. So those folks will be in there today. Again, down in Three Rivers, they're feeling pretty good about Three Rivers still. There's been a lot of work done the prior 3 weeks. So they're still doing touch-up, still moving some things around, but feeling very good about Three Rivers in general. We'll continue to have Structure Protection Task Force in there, and their main job is to really be there and just evaluate things and be ready should something occur. So feeling pretty good about that. The park headquarters were repopulated a few days ago. That's in a piece of contain lined up there where they really did a whole bunch of work to make sure that was secure and in good shape. So taking care of there. The CAL FIRE folks we've been working with continue to double check on Silver City and Mineral King. What we had yesterday, I'll just start down here on the nights. Last night about 8:30 at night, we had a very, very hard downslope wind, which kind of transitioned from our normal upslopes, and it really pushed fire behavior pretty hard down towards the Mineral King Road. So folks got in there last night. We did get a spot across Mineral King Road, which we've been trying very hard to hold and really make sure we had in good shape. And still unknown on the size of that spot fire down there. It's between the road and the river, just kind of west of DP30 there. So the day shift folks will be in there today, just evaluating options, what we can do to try to get in there and work some of that edge. So hopefully we'll get a little clearer air today and can utilize some aircraft to help those guys out. But they will be in there trying to figure out best options and scenarios to see if we can take care of that. Moving east along Mineral King Road, fire did come down in parts with that same wind event last night. So we did have some activity over here in the Redwood, the southern Redwood drainage yesterday. So folks will be in there today. They'll try to get through and make sure that this road is still in good shape, that there's no other rollout that occurred or other spots. So one of our hotshot crews that we have there, they've got UAS capability, so they can pop a little drone up, fly it around, and get some real-time infrared and help guide folks into places and see where exactly the fire perimeter is. And that's super helpful when it's smoky conditions and we can't get ops guys up in the helicopter flying a little bit higher elevation, seeing through the smoke. So that UAS will be real important. That's a real handy tool to have. We'll take a look at this today, see if there's anything potentially we can still do out here to kind of slow this progression down. It didn't move much yesterday. It's just kind of been mellowing out and just slowly moving to the east. So we'll continue to evaluate that. Coming around into Division Echo, this didn't do a whole lot as well yesterday. A lot of this fire was super smoked out. So looking at the infrared and satellite imagery, not a whole lot of movement in here on Castle Creek yesterday. So we'll continue to keep an eye on that. Working with the resource advisors. We've got some priorities if we do get clearer air today. I'd have to check with the air folks. I think we've got 12 helicopters. So we just need the clear air to utilize them. But we've got some priorities in, Redwood Meadow, Little Redwood Grove. If we can, we'll utilize some buckets to start putting some gel on specific trees as designated. So we'll work with the park resource advisors to make sure we can accomplish that mission if we do get clear air. In contingency or in tandem with that, supporting the operation folks direct on perimeter control, working helicopters and buckets where we can to go direct on the fire edge. So coming around into Lima Gulf, there was some activity in here yesterday. This Moro Rock country in there, it did pick up, get a little bit more active. So they did do a little burn around the comp site that's down in there. That all went real well. They secured that back into Cold Black. So we'll have some folks in there checking that throughout the day, making sure that that's in good shape. But plugged a couple more resources in to help Lima Gulf out. Giant Forest Grove, they continue to have a presence in there, just evaluating fire behavior, still prepping any trees that we can, and doing that sort of thing. So they feel pretty good about Giant Forest Grove. That's been a primary mission for the last couple weeks. We'll continue to do so, along with the General Sherman tree and those specific individual trees there. Coming around up to Division Papa. This whole east side of the fire in here, you know, it's our contained piece here. This is a little bit harder country to get into, but we are evaluating that and taking a look at it. Very, very minimal growth. Like I keep saying, a little bit scabbier fuels there, not real conducive to large fire growth. So we'll continue to keep eyes on that. The big story in Papa, burnout operations along the General's Highway. Moving north, they did get to Dorse Campground yesterday, if you remember, and kind of hung it up right there at the campground as a check line, just to wait for until the evening when we had a little bit better conditions. We like to do some of those firing operations at night, like I talked about, when humidity's a little bit higher, winds are a little bit more mellow, a little bit easier to dictate fire behavior. So last night they got, not overly accurate, this is from the IR flight, but they did get through up here to the Lost Grove, got a little bit through that, and they just kind of hung it up here at the division break, you can see, with Sierra Papa. And that operation went real well. They did have some adverse winds, you know, smoke in their face all night, and they were pretty busy, and it was a very slow operation to make sure they were methodical and we didn't get too much fire down and had to chase it out here anywhere. So that all held up. Folks on the ground did real well. They'll continue to patrol that area, monitor today, make sure they're gridding out on the green side, making sure there's no spot fires or any of that. Utilize UAS if we can to get some eyes on that. So that operation went real well. Coming over into Division Sierra, again, we've got that Structure Group 1. They've been supporting all of Branch 1, which are these divisions here. And their primary goal is structure protection in lodgepole, helping out in the Giant Forest Grove, and supporting these folks with water tenders, engines, and they're kind of a roving force wherever the request comes in to go provide support and, you know, make sure we've got snap tanks full of water and those big, you know, 1,000-gallon pumpkins so the engines can draft out of them. Those are staged all over the highway and helping hold the highway and all that. So they'll continue to do that. Coming into last night's burn up here by Quail Flat, south of that. Fire's still on the right side of the road in General's Highway. That operation went real well. They did get around towards where a hand line comes off here by the division break. So still working to get some depth. And when I talk about depth, we're really just trying to go slowly back and forth and just kind of ease fire in nice and gentle through the Redwood Grove. And that operation's going real well there. Today's plan, they'll continue to make sure that they're patrolling the highway. Same as down here, we don't have any spot fires. You know, mop up along the edge of the highway there and make sure things are in good shape. Talked about Grant Grove, Wilsonia, so we will have that presence in there, helping to set up structure protection, getting some plans in place there should we need it. Coming around into Division Uniform, let's see. So the plan for today is to try to hold what we've got up here, but if opportunities and the weather's right, we might try to bring some fire down our primary handline holding features here to start getting some more depth. Overly, what we're trying to do is bring this down nice and gentle through the side so that when the main fire reaches it, we've got fire through the grove on our terms, and the main fire as it moves up through this Redwood Creek can kind of meet the main fire, and we'll get this all boxed in. So that's the ultimate goal there. But they'll continue to bring fire down if it's appropriate and they've got the conditions to do it. Down here in Division Uniform yesterday, I talked about that slop over by Esham Point. So they've got that secured yesterday. That was a pretty good stroke. Pretty active fire behavior there for a bit, but they did work around that corner and get it tied back in. So successful operation there. Coming down into X-Ray Zulu, fire was pretty active in here yesterday coming off this Yucca Mountain. The good thing was those guys kind of had winds at their back, so it was a little more favorable burning during the day operation. So they did get this piece closed out yesterday. They'll be in there monitoring and patrolling our holding line today, just mopping up, taking a look at everything, making sure that's held off. So this was a big critical piece that they accomplished yesterday. Coming down more into Division Zulu, we'll continue to take a look at from Fry's Point to Ash Peaks here. That piece, you know, it's showing isolated pockets of heat on the IR, so we'll continue to have folks in there trying to access it where we're available and make sure we're working on some perimeter control there as well. But Overall, a very busy day, a very busy couple days, very fluid. The weather's been changing on us, not really cooperating a whole bunch, and with smoke socking in, it's made it tough to utilize aircraft, which is really one of our, we stand on two legs. Aircraft's kind of one, and the guys on the ground are the other. So when you're walking around without one leg, it makes it tough. But we'll continue to work together and coordinate and communicate. Very good handoffs between the day and night transitions. Still looking at contingency lines, making sure we've got other options around the fire should something like that occur. Yesterday, where we get spot fires, that we've got options to back off to. So overall, a very good day. That's the updates, and you guys all have a good day. We appreciate the cooperation from the community and the support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.